Okay, so in this lesson, what we're going to be talking about today is creating a storyboard. A storyboard is basically a visual breakdown of what it is you're looking to accomplish in a video. There's a lot that can be put into it, and there's a little that can be put into it to make it go a long way. It's entirely up to you and how you want to create this. But what the goal is at the end of the day is to know who you need, what you need, where you need, the lighting you need in the film that you're looking to create. You are creating a music video for this assignment. The goal of this assignment is to write down, draw down, figure out exactly what it is you need in order to create an interesting and unique music video. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at a little drawing that I've done and kind of look at how you can create this look. So what I've got over here is the basic sheet that you have in your assignment today. You can print that out and use the same sheet, or you can draw this out on a plain piece of paper. It doesn't make a difference to me as long as you have a plan. So if we look at what it is I'm looking to create here, and let me just mute it real quick so we don't have to hear that. If we're looking at what I've got to create here, I'm going to start with some basic drawings. So over here on the left, I've drawn exactly what I want as far as the intro transition. I'm going to have it fade in from black, right? I'm going to draw out, and I can't draw any better than most of you. Most of it's stick figures and squares. I'm going to be using the Believer music video. So what I draw out here is young Dan sitting in his chair. That's how I'm going to start my music video. I'm going to write down what it is. I might write down the lighting I need. I'm going to write slow-mo on here. And I'm going to write the cut that I'm going to use, or the type of camera angle, like a close-up angle. Here, I'll write the transition that I have. So I'll have a fast cut, so something that just cuts quickly between the two. This is the ugliest drawing of a guitar you've ever seen in your life. Take it for what it is. But I'm going to draw out a musician here. And I'm going to use this musician to kind of represent a few fast cuts that I'm going to do. I'm going to go musician, 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 because the beat goes bum, bum, ba-da-ba-da. And that ba-da-ba-ba, I'm going to go musician, 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 going drums, bass, guitar, vocals, right? I'll write down what it is I'm looking to do, just like that. All of these I'm going to look for the mid shot, because there's a close-up, a mid shot, and a wide shot of all of these musicians. So I'm going to stick to their mid shots. I'll write down the transition again of what I'm looking for. Looks like I'm going to dip to white to just make it flash white real quick, and then go into something different. In this case, it'll be older Dan in his chair. So the goal here really is to have a visual breakdown of what it is you're looking to create. Taking that film out of your mind and putting it onto a piece of paper so that you have an idea of what to film. The biggest struggle in this industry in general is getting started with your film and having a plan for that film. If you have a plan, then you don't need to second guess yourself as often. If you don't have a plan, you're going to film a bunch of junk and then try to make something work out of it. And that's no good for anybody. So in this scene, you can see I'm going to use a mask to put 3 different videos together. I'm going to have Dan in his chair. And then I'm going to have a fade up of Dan in the blue lights that show up. You'll see some of these clips in our next video. The ultimate goal, again, is a plan. So what I want you to do is take this sheet of paper and I want you to draw out stick figures and squares, writing down at the bottom what it is, writing at the top what kind of angle you want your camera to be at. On the left and right, how you're going to transition between these. Think in terms of, the in-camera transitions, that whip transition, or the match cut, or a jump cut. Or L cut, J cuts, how you're going to utilize your different editing cuts. We've gone over a lot in this class, and I'm expecting you to show me that you know how to use this program. Not just by putting a good video together, you can do that. Not just by filming a good video, you can do that. But by editing a good video. The cuts are what's going to make this project successful. How you cut this up, how you dice this up. I don't want long cuts. We are the ADHD generation. There's nothing more boring than watching 30 seconds of a clip. It becomes unwatchable like that. So what you need to do is plan for 5-second cuts. At least every 5 seconds, cut to something different, or to that scene in a different spot. Something different. Now, this is a 3-minute film. This is a 9-frame sheet of paper. I want you to do 2 of these sheets of paper. That creates 18 frames. Those 18 frames represent 10 seconds a cut. Okay? So you're going to need double this, really. That's where your B-roll comes in. But I want you to draw out 18 frames of your overall setup. 18 frames that show your idea for this music video. Remember, you're telling a story here. The song tells a story. You should be telling the story of the song. Doesn't have to match perfectly, but should be in the same vicinity, right? So draw out 18 frames. Write down what you're thinking about doing. Give yourself a plan for filming. That way, when it all comes to the end, you know what you're doing in your film. You know how to film it, and you know how to cut it up. That way, there's no second guessing. It's a lot easier when you do this. I've had students that were like, I had no clue what to do for this project. And then I wrote out my storyboard, and all of a sudden, I knew. I got it. I don't need yours to look any more complicated or drawn out than mine. Okay? As long as you're describing what's going on. At the end of the day, this is about making a successful video for you. If you think this out, if you give this real thought, then it's going to be 10 times easier for you as we move down the line of this. You do not have as much time as you think to create this project. Every student when working on projects says, I wish I hadn't procrastinated when filming. Don't procrastinate. Get this going now so that you're not in a mess trying to throw this together at the last minute. You are not going to throw a successful music video together in a day. Will not happen. It might be a struggle in a week. That's why I'm giving you the time I am. Come up with a plan so that you know what to film. Start filming it immediately. If you need help, reach out.